Let's talk about something a little strange, something that happens in that weird, murky space between being awake and being totally out of it. We're diving into the science of one of our most mysterious behaviors, sleepwalking.
Just think about that for a second. What if your body just decided to get up and go, while your conscious mind, the part of you that's actually you, was still completely asleep? For some people, that's not just a creepy thought. It's what happens to them every night.
You know the image we've all seen in movies, right? That eerie figure kind of shuffling through a dark house, eyes wide open but totally vacant? It's a classic for a reason, but the real story behind it is way more interesting than any horror flick.
And that's the real head-scratcher with sleepwalking. The body is up and moving, sometimes doing some pretty complicated stuff, but the part of the brain that handles memory and, well, being you, is completely offline. So when they wake up, nothing. No memory of it at all. It's like someone else was borrowing their body for a joyride.
Now, you might be thinking this is some super rare, bizarre thing, but it's actually way more common than you'd think, and it covers a whole range of behaviors, from things that are just kind of weird to stuff that is truly out there.
Let's just look at the stats for a minute. For kids, sleepwalking is incredibly common. We're talking somewhere between 7 and 15% of kids from age 4 to 12. For most of them, yeah, it's just a phase they grow out of, but not for everyone.
And the kinds of things people do are all over the map. Sometimes it's as simple as just sitting up in bed and staring into space. Other times they're walking around, mumbling, even rearranging the furniture or making a midnight snack. And then you get the really extreme cases where people will get dressed, unlock the front door, and just leave the house, wandering into a world they aren't even aware they're in.
So what's actually causing this? Is it just a random brain farts, a weird neurological glitch, or could it be something deeper? Something that's literally passed down from your parents?
Well, it turns out the answer is pretty clear. It is absolutely in your genes. Get this, if both of your parents were sleepwalkers, there is a staggering 80% chance that you'll be one too. So yeah, this strange nightly habit, it really does run in the family.
Okay, so we know it can be genetic, but that doesn't explain just how complex and sometimes how terrifying these episodes can get. Most of the time it's harmless, maybe even a little funny. But in some really rare cases, the line between a simple sleep disorder and a real-life nightmare gets completely erased.
For that, we have to go back to 1987 in Canada. A 23-year-old man named Ken Parks became the center of a truly horrific story that would end up challenging everything we thought we knew about crime and consciousness.
And when the police finally caught up with him, his alibi, his defense, was something nobody saw coming.
He literally walked into a police station, hands covered in blood, and told them, "I think I have killed some people. My hands." But here's the thing, he had absolutely no idea how it happened. He claimed he was completely asleep the entire time.
Just try to wrap your head around this timeline. Ken Parks falls asleep on his couch. While completely unconscious, he gets up, drives 23 kilometers, brutally attacks his in-laws, and then drives himself to a police station to turn himself in. His lawyers argued it was something called homicidal somnambulism, basically murder while sleepwalking. And believe it or not, after a jury looked at his whole history of sleep disorders, they acquitted him.
So, how on earth is any of that even possible? How can a person do something so complicated, so deliberate, without the conscious mind even being there? To figure that out, we've got to look at what's going on inside the brain. So scientists don't really see sleepwalking as a type of dream. They call it an arousal disorder. The best way to think about it is like a short circuit. Your brain is trying to switch from deep sleep to a lighter stage of sleep, but something goes wrong and it gets stuck right in the middle. What you get is this bizarre split state. It's like you have two different brains in one body, and they're not on the same page. The conscious part of your brain, the part that handles logic, reason, and making memories, is still deep asleep. But the motor part of your brain, the part that controls walking, moving, and doing things you've done 1,000 times, it just switches on. That's how someone can perform a routine task like walking a familiar path or even driving without any awareness at all. So here's how it all goes down. First, you're in that really deep, non-dreaming stage of sleep. Then, your brain tries to shift gears to the next sleep stage. But then, bam, a glitch happens. The body's engine roars to life, but the driver, your conscious mind, is still passed out. All that's left to take the wheel is muscle memory.
So, understanding the science is one thing, but if you actually live with a sleepwalker, or are one yourself, you need some real-world advice to make sure everyone stays safe.
The most important thing here is prevention. You want to create a safe space before an episode ever starts. We're talking simple stuff. Make sure doors and windows are locked, get any sharp objects or tripping hazards out of the way, and maybe think about a bedroom on the ground floor. And honestly, just letting the other people in the house know what's going on can make a huge difference.
So the science gives us a lot of answers, but it also leaves us with this one huge, kind of unsettling question. A case like Ken Parks shows us that the brain can navigate, drive, and perform incredibly complex actions, all without a shred of consciousness. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other crazy abilities are just sitting there, locked away deep inside our minds, just waiting for the right glitch to bring them to the surface?